maupay nga aga, maupay nga kulop, maupay nga gabi, whatever. I'd like to share with you a few simple thoughts. So simple that you may not even think it's important enough to be said. But anyway, here it is. There's an American author named Robert Fulghum. He wrote a book entitled What I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. The book is a gentle and humorous reminder of the life lessons imparted to us painstakingly by our kindergarten teachers. You might think it weird that a 70-plus-year-old woman would be thinking of kindergarten. But it's because of the age that I can think a long way back to the important things that happened to us in our lives. Now, as we grow up, we begin to forget those lessons. Growing up erodes our belief in those lessons. Life converts us to other values that we may think we need more in order to advance in the world or even to simply survive. One of those early lessons is the importance of trees. Now, we also learned this in kindergarten, or maybe a little bit after that. But this is what we were told when we were children. We were told that trees prevent floods. We also learned that trees absorb carbon dioxide from the air and release oxygen. Trees cleanse the air we breathe and enrich it with life-giving oxygen, vital to all living creatures in the planet. Of course, any child who has ever climbed a santol tree or a guava tree, he would know that trees also provide food. I remember sugar planters in Bais, Negros Oriental, reminiscing about the good old days when their fields did not need fertilizer because rainwater from the mountains carried nourishment from the forest. The leaves of the trees that fell to the ground and decomposed was brought down by the rainwater, and it fertilized the fields. And so they did not need to put fertilizer. They did not need to buy very expensive chemical fertilizers to make their crops healthy. So we know that trees are quite useful. We learned this when we were children. But when we are grown up, we begin to change our mind about things, no? We begin to refer to the mountains, to the forests, to the rivers, to the seas around us. We began to call them natural resources. The term natural resources, we use it as if, we have a right to everything around us. The term natural resources is always coupled with the word exploit or exploitation. We grow wealth. We acquire wealth by exploiting our natural resources. Thus, the humans claim that they own nature and have power over the land, the waters, and the air. And this power is exclusive of all other creatures subsisting on it. In particular, it gives to governments the power to grant mining, lumbering, or agricultural rights to whomever they choose. Now, the mines, the sawmills, the huge farmsteads produce wealth to the privileged few. Meanwhile, rivers go dry. I think we all have seen a dried up river. It is a commonplace in our day, in our time. Killer floods happen. That happens almost every year in different places of the Philippines. Why? Because the mountains no longer have its trees. The trees have become lumber and they have been sold off all over the world. So we have the floods. Water sources and the seas become polluted. Marine life is destroyed. I think many of us notice that our harvest from the seas are becoming smaller and smaller. Fish is becoming more expensive. The crabs that we harvest are now so small, we cannot allow them to grow big anymore. We harvest them as fast as they can grow to a size that we can eat. So, marine life is destroyed. And we know of species that are dying off or which have already died off. Lately, we have experienced killer storms, and they are coming more frequently as global warming continues unabated. And more people in the world are becoming poorer and hungrier, while those who have the right to exploit the natural resources are becoming richer and richer. Now they say that the presence of bees is an indicator of the health of the planet. Experts say that if all the bees in this planet become extinct because of chemical pollution, loss of habitat, environmental degradation, the planet will die little by little. Or maybe it will die very quickly, unable to produce food for the populations. And by populations, I mean not just human populations, but all other populations. Because the bees are a very important link in the production of food. The earth is more than just our natural resources. It is our home, and home too to all other living creatures who share it with us. The threat of the bees should prompt us to take seriously our responsibility as sharers of this planet. We learn the value of sharing in kindergarten. We should never give up this value. It will keep the bees alive and us with them. Thank you.